Welcome back to Porsche of Nashua Auto Hounders, and today we are reviewing the 2024 Macan T. This one is in this beautiful, beautiful orange papaya color. It's the Macan T, so you're going to notice a few things on it. Number one, the mirrors and the side skirts are all in this nice dark gray, along with the roof spoiler, which I think is really kind of cool. Another feature on this car, you'll be like, hey, AutoHound, where's the button to open up the trunk? Well, they merged that into this little piece right here, into the windshield wiper. Press on that, and it opens wide up. I love that. One less thing to worry about, one less button to worry about. Come back up here, hit the top. Look at all that storage space, by the way. Over here on the side, get a really nice outside look. It also comes with these beautiful gray wheels. The gray wheels are fantastic. I love the color of it. Maybe because it matches my Porsche, I don't know. Has the dynamic head daytime running lights, and it also has the adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, and all of your standard accoutrements that you need to do. Let's look under the hood. Looking under the hood of the Macan T, simple, grab it, and the spot right there comes right up. This is a 2-liter turbocharged engine with 260 horsepower and 291 foot-pounds of torque. So it's a very torquey and peppy little truck. You'll see that once we get it out on the road, and I certainly can testify that it is quite amazing. As we're getting into the vehicle, I do this every single time. I get in the back seat of every single car as long as it has one. And the reason I do that is because, look, you're going to have your kids back here. This is an SUV, right? This is properly roomy. It has the full panoramic sunroof. It's a 5-seater, obviously. I love the deviated stitching and this really cool papaya color. And that's what this is, which is really nice. Also, you'll see all the deviated stitching here and across the dashboard. The back seat has a ton of room. My feet are properly out, and there's a ton of room for the front passenger, which is really cool. It also has a charger down here for your cell phones and another climate control area. On the driver's side, again, the 3 buttons. Love that feature. Porsche, you're doing it right. Everybody should have this. You got 3 passengers, you got 3 seat settings. That's great. They should be doing this. This is an 18-way adjustable seat. And over here, we'll just open it up so I don't have to reach over later. And that slow dampening of the glove box. Love that feature. This is really nice. So let's get in the other side and we'll check it out. Getting into the Macan T. Again, we get a little cubby holder over here. You got your windows, you got your mirrors, and you have your 3 car settings for over here. You also have your 18-way adjustable seats here. 18-way adjustable, very neat. The Porsche starts up, of course, on the left-hand side. This is your adjuster for the steering wheel. This is your cruise control, and those are your directionals and your high beams. All right, we are now in the Macan T. Start it right up. What I like about this car is it's very, very nicely set up. It's user-friendly, and I love user-friendly interfaces. You got the paddle shifter, which is downshift, upshift. Over here, you have your stereo setup, volume, you have your phone setup over here, and down here you have your drive modes, of course, where you could cycle between sport mode, sport plus mode, individual mode, which you set up for yourself, and of course normal mode. So we're going to drive in sport plus mode because we always do. Over here, like I said, you could raise and lower the steering wheel, and the adjusting, those are your wipers right there. The wheel already feels great. Your infotainment is the same as every other infotainment in every single Porsche, and you gotta love that because they don't mess around at Porsche. You have a very good entertainment system. The Navi is fantastic. So down here is you have your climate controls. You have it on the left side and the right side. Air conditioning, sync, max, and you get a couple of other over here where you could do some AC and whatnot. You have your seat heater and seat cooler, and you could adjust, it looks like, the lumbar support of the seat, either auto up or auto down, which is kind of neat. I'm liking that a lot. And over here you have your parking brake, traction control. There's your dampening modes. Here's your sport mode, your auto off, the lane keep assist, and descent control if you're on a downhill terrain. Inside here, you have another area for storage. So coming from your home screen, if you just hit car, you have vehicle settings, and you can change all the settings right here. Your locking, lights and visibility, climate, and Porsche active safety settings. In addition to that, if you go back to your home screen, you hit car again. Love the volume buttons down here. Everything is soft, which is really sweet. Again, it has a sport chrono package. You're gonna love that. And so the Macan T, the T stands for touring. And touring is very important. You want this to be a comfortable car for people to drive in, and not just something that people are gonna say, oh my God, it's just another Porsche. Well, it's not just another Porsche, it's a Macan T. And another feature inside the car is right up here. This is your actual sunroof. It's some half sunroof, half moonroof, and it's all panoramic. You have your garage door openers right here, 1, 2, or 3, and you could put the lights on and whatnot. So pretty cool, and your airbags and whatnot, notifications. All right, Mike, welcome back.
Thank you, Eric.
I appreciate you having me once again up here at Porsche of Nashua. Thank you guys very much. I'll say that in advance because I think it's important to recognize that. The other thing is today we're driving the 2024 Porsche Macan T. And Mike, why don't you kind of kick off what you think are the highlights of this car?
Sure, Eric. Well, the Macan T is new to our lineup as of last year, and it sits in between a standard 2-liter car and the Macan S. And what it offers is it bundles several high performance options together in a really nice package. So what it includes is 20-inch wheels. It includes the legendary Sport Chrono package. It also includes PASM, which is Porsche's active suspension management. And that allows you to control the suspension via 3 different modes. So you have normal, sport, and sport plus. It's actually a 3-chamber technology and lowers the shocks 1 notch each time you press the button. And it greatly stiffens the handling and lowers the center of gravity a little bit. Gives you better handling. So some other features with the Macan T is it gives you model-specific trim on the exterior. You've got this really nice dark gray contrasting trim on the mirrors and the grille, also the rear spoiler and emblems.
I noticed that you had the back light, which was completely clear, which is a nice little touch because it kind of hides it, but you know it's still there.
Correct, yeah, that's a Porsche exclusive option, the clear taillight option, and it blends really well with the Papaya Metallic. It removes the red out of the light so that you only see the red when the lights are either on or when you apply the brakes. That
makes sense. And so in my kind of review of the car when I got into it before we had a chat outside the car, you were saying how the Macan T is kind of perfectly placed in the middle, and I'm already noticing that. It's in Sport Plus mode, obviously, because I think that's the most fun mode to drive anything in, and it's really torquey. And I'm not going to do anything very quick just yet, but we're going to jump up on the highway in a few minutes, and if you kind of just walk me through the comfort of why you think that this car is that kind of sweet spot that we were just talking about.
Well, that's because of the torque. So the 2-liter Macan now features 295 pounds of torque, which is very torquey. And even though the horsepower sits at a modest 262, the torque is right up there with the big boys at 295. So you really get that off the line performance, and it makes the car feel more peppy and more spirited, and the throttle response is almost instant. So there's no lag when you hit that pedal. The power is just right there at your disposal. Nice. By having the Sport Chrono package in Sport Plus too, it's going to keep you in a lower gear. It's also going to wait a little bit longer to shift, so it's going to give you a more exhilarating experience.
Nice. And then of course you could have the touring experience, which is just kind of for your long cruising thing when you're not kind of going from stoplight to stoplight. You're up on the highway. It's nice to have just that comfortable feeling of doing that, unless you just want to get around someone real quick.
Exactly. Yeah, and the Macan lineup has always been about comfort. The Macan T features our famous sports seats. This one was optioned with the 18-way sports seat, so you can really get comfortable. There's also plenty of bolstering for when you take corners like this. As you can see, firmly placed in the seat.
Wow.
Nice smooth ride, very little noise. So despite being very sporty, it's also very luxurious. So the Macan offers that just perfect blend of luxury and sport, which is one of the many reasons why it's the #1 car that we sell.
Which makes total sense. And I was in the back seat earlier, and it just has a ton of room. And your seat is moved forward so that I can fit myself in the back. And your knees, you're almost 6 feet tall.
Correct.
And your knees aren't even close to the dashboard.
No.
So you get a 6-footer up front, you get a 6-footer in back. That's really cool.
Yeah, my seat is not even all the way back either. If I put the seat back all the way, it's uncomfortable for me because that's for someone that's much taller. I have my seat probably 3/4 of the way back, so there's still a lot more room in the back seat.
So we're at 81 miles an hour, and it doesn't feel 81 at all. And I didn't even realize it until I looked down. So certainly a car you want to, keep an eye on, especially in Sport Plus mode.
Oh yeah, the speed, it gets right up to speed very easily. What I'm going to ask you to do, Eric, is just switch it back over to normal mode.
Yeah.
And you're going to see the RPMs, it's going to shift up to 7th. Now, at 78 miles per hour, we're only at roughly 2,100 RPM, so it's a very good highway cruiser.
Oh, you could definitely feel the difference, and it was holding the revs up in Sport Plus mode, and now we've dropped down, and you can see that you're going to get really good fuel economy in this car. So it's not just, oh, let's go racing around town or whatnot. This is a nice long distance cruiser. I'm not joking. These seats are probably the most comfortable seats I've ever sat in any car. You get the bolsters on the side. You also have the bolsters on your legs, so that closes it in. You've got the 3-chamber technology inside the back of the seat, so it puffs it right up for if you get a lower back problem. So really nice. Feels like even in normal mode, it feels really, really good.
Yeah.
Like it didn't.
I just turned on the PASM 1 notch. I'll actually turn the PASM on back to full.
Okay.
So even in normal mode, it's great,
Yeah.
Now with PASM completely turned on, we'll take exit 8 here. Exit 8's a nice S-hook, like you probably remember. And I want you to notice very little body roll, little to none really, which is just super impressive for a compact SUV. Keep in mind, this is, a compact SUV, not a sports car, and it still holds its own very well.
It's really nice. There's virtually no pitch. A little bit of yaw, but nothing extreme. We're at 55 miles an hour taking a corner, and it handles it with ease.
That's right, Eric. Our cars are made in Germany, the entire line. The Macan is built at a specific facility in Leipzig, Germany, which has a test track and other test facilities. So a lot of time and effort and research and development goes into the Macan. It's not an afterthought, it's one of our core products. So yeah, the build quality is definitely up to Porsche standards, if not beyond. This is a nice turnabout here, tackles it with ease.
Oh yeah, that feels great. And in the New England winters, what we deal with a lot is frost heaves, potholes, bumps, you name it, and you can't feel it in this car, which is always very comfort inspiring. And there's a lot of people like, oh yeah, we'll drive an SUV. Some SUVs feel like a rock. This is supple and smooth over everything.
Yes, and the suspension has been redesigned over the years with the Macan. Just as for instance, in 22 it got redesigned. They added boron plates to the rear shock towers, which greatly enhanced the rear end stability and increased overall handling. This particular car that we're in actually has our standard spring suspension too, and it rides this nice. There's an optional air suspension, which further increases the handling and ride quality.
Wow.
So it actually only gets better from here, which is very exciting.
The brand Macan is definitely the way to go. And if you're looking for a small SUV, I highly recommend this one. Let's just turn around here. He doesn't mind.
And the turning radius is excellent too.
Wow.
As you can see, we made a U-turn very easily.
Yeah, that was outstanding. And there's virtually, no area to turn around in, and you just popped right around like it was nothing.
Yeah, and that also, that translates to easier parking as well, easier maneuvering in your driveway, etc.
Yeah, if you're driving downtown in the city or something like that, easy car to drive in the city.
Yes, very, very easy. If you want to switch it back to Sport Plus, feel free.
All right. 1, 2. Oh, you can definitely feel the RPMs just jump right up.
Yeah.
And does this have to be shifted over this way for the...
Not anymore. What they've done recently is on the left side of the steering wheel, you'll see an M button, and that will switch it over to manual mode. Just go ahead and press that.
Okay.
And now the car will not upshift for you, so you'll have to do all the upshifting.
Oh, darn.
It will downshift when you reach a stop.
That's impressive.
Yeah, every Porsche that I drive, every late model Porsche that I drive off of the highway, I always have it in Sport or Sport Plus.
Yeah.
At Porsche, normal mode is eco mode, so the transmission will always be searching for the highest gear, which is great. But if you're looking, for more sporty experience, definitely keep it in sport mode all the time when you're on back roads.
100%. Yeah, and you could definitely feel the interactive feeling with the car. I kind of shifting it is so much nicer, and it just the double clutch transmission, right?
Yeah.
It's just funny because you get these two little paddles here, and Jeremy Clarkson used to say, "Oh, the flappy paddle transmission." Those days are gone with flappy paddle transmissions. These are really truly connected to the car. You actually feel like it's part of you, and you are part of it.
That's correct. And the Macan features Porsche's PDK transmission, which is the same dual clutch transmission found in our sports cars. So it's a robust setup, 7 speeds, and the shifting is very fast, very precise.
And it's super comfortable. All right, so Mike, you were saying about the PDK transmission, how amazing it is.
Even at 4,500 RPMs, it's
super
still
heavy.
Reaching close to its peak power.
Yeah.
Peak power, because of the way the turbo is engineered, most of the power is between 2,500 and 4,500. As you can see, beyond 4,500 it does start to level out, but that's okay. We're going plenty fast.
Yeah, there's no need to have to go faster, and I really appreciate that about this car. You're not in a rush to have to go anywhere, but you have the power at your fingertips if needed. Plenty fast enough. This is super nice. Well, guys, you just saw the Porsche Macan kind of doing its thing. This is the Macan T again. I want to thank Porsche Nashua once again, and make sure if you like this type of content to like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, it's about the drive. So, Mike, you were just mentioning there's a fun fact about this car that we don't know about.
Yeah, there is. The interesting fun fact with the 2-liter Macan is that we all realize that cars have come a long way over the last 30 years. But as a quick anecdote, the 2-liter Macan actually has the same performance as a G-Body 911 Turbo.
Wow.
So it's 0 to 60 in 5 seconds, and it has a top speed of about 155 miles per hour.
Holy goodness.
So even by today's standards, that might be modest performance, but at the end of the day, that is still king of the hill performance that will put a smile on anybody's face.
And it feels super confident. You really feel inspired driving the car, which is nice because you don't get that a lot.